I thought I'd hop on and say hello, get you guys updated with what I've been doing so far. So I will be on for just a few minutes. You guys remember the days when I used to come on live like every Tuesday? And I did that for months. I was really proud of myself. But anyways, while you guys are hopping on, I guess I'll begin the video. So for those that don't know, last year August I went to Ghana. Last year August, oh my god, this year August. I feel like it feels so long ago, but this year August I went to Ghana a couple of days after the Purpose Eagle had our third annual networking event. And if you're not aware, the Purpose Eagle has officially become a nonprofit. It's a faith-based community where we encourage people to soar in their purpose and dominate their mountain of influence. And the 7 Mountains of Influence is a philosophy by Lauren Cunningham, who was a renowned evangelist back in the day. And he believes that there are 7 mountains of influence that you can dominate in this earth. And those mountains I've always talked about. They're the mountains of education, family, religion, media, entertainment, and arts. And then you have government, and then there is, I don't remember if I said education. But if I said education already, there is one more. But there's 7 mountains of influence that he believes that every person on this earth was sent to dominate. And, the Great Commission of all was given to the human race. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to 28, God gave us a couple of steps. The first step was to be fruitful. The only way that we can be fruitful, and the only way that God could possibly expect us to be fruitful, is if he placed some form of a seed within us in the first place. So he places a seed within us, right? And then he says, be fruitful. And then he says, multiply. And then he says, replenish the earth. And then he says, subdue it. So the first step is to be fruitful. So in whatever you're doing, be fruitful in it. Give it your best, give it your all. And then you'll begin to learn how to multiply. And then after multiplication comes replenishing the earth, meaning that the stuff that he gives to you is not just for you to bask in it and enjoy it yourself. It's for you to put back into the earth. It's for you to impact those that you're called to impact. And then the last thing to do is to subdue it. So that's what you're supposed to do. Hi, Kamar. And so when you do all of these things, no matter what mountain of influence you do it in, you're fulfilling your purpose. Another thing that I want to say is that you fulfill your purpose throughout the course of your life, but your purpose entails a bunch of different assignments. And so, that's what you do. Kamar, I am from America. I'm from Connecticut. Hello. Hi, guys. So this is what you do. This is how you become fruitful and you multiply what God has given to you. And so after going to Ghana and after doing our event this year, we were able to donate 10% of our funds to a children's home in Ghana, which was very, very meaningful to me, to my husband, and to all those that are part of the team. But we were able to do many other things there. And while I was there, God really was impressing on my heart that I needed to hone into what I've been preaching the whole year. I've been preaching for people to fulfill their purpose, pursue their purpose, start their business, and I get so excited to encourage people to do, what they're called to do. But I think I was not really paying attention to one of the things that I was called to do. And we have many puzzles to our life, many puzzle pieces to our life, right? Many things that we're called to do, again, many assignments. But I knew that in that moment, God was calling my attention into speaking and mentoring and cultivating women. And so when I went to Ghana, on our way back, we stopped in Amsterdam. I told this story many times on my social medias, but I don't think I've really came over here and said it over here on YouTube. But we stopped in Amsterdam, and that's where I began to develop this plan with God to do these mentorship cohorts for the next couple of months. And so that's what I've been doing, long and short of it. And so, hey, Anthony, that's what I've been doing, long and short of it. Hey, Nina, I see a couple of names on here. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you guys are. I hope you're having a wonderful December so far. So in the first cohort I've been doing with the women, or the first cohort that I did with the women in September, was all about writing the vision or executing the vision. So it comes from starting, right? So planning out your plan and getting everything done, to conception of the vision, to execution of that vision. Because a lot of times, I think that, we go through life and we want to fulfill purpose, but we don't put pen to paper. And so right now is December, and a lot of people are going to get lost in the Christmas season and the Hanukkah season, holidays, whatever it is, Thanksgiving, whatever you celebrate, Kwanzaa. Everybody's going to get lost in that, but only a few people sit down and put pen to paper and actually plan out their year. And I'm not just talking about a sleazy, New Year's resolution. Everybody does that. Everybody makes New Year's resolutions. But the stick-to-itiveness, right? The follow-through on your plans that you make is what's really important. And so we did that in the month of September on planning your vision. And then the month of October to November was my personal favorite, which was all about building the innovation. And that is what the curriculum that I taught in that is what my academy that I've built now, by the grace of God, that is the framework that I use. I believe that we all, as I said, have been called to build some form of an innovation, whether it's a book, whether it's an initiative, whether it's being the best teacher you can be, whether it's building your family, your children. They are your innovations that you will pour your time and energy into. Whether you're a creative person, you like to draw, you like to write, you like to, be creative, whatever innovations that you are called or drawn to build, I believe that it takes 7 C's. And so we talked about that in building the innovation. And if you want, to be a part of those courses, they're still available on oilmillacademy.com for a small fee. If you'd like to, be a part of those curriculums, I believe that they've been life-changing. But the last one that I'm going to do for the month of December, starting next Monday, is called Ruth Arise and Invest to Harvest. So that's the theme of it, investing to harvest. And I'm going to be teaching about investing in 3 things, and this is completely free. I'm going to be doing it for the next 7 days. The other courses were a charge of $250, but this course that I'm going to be doing is going to be free. And I'm going to be talking about 3 things: how to invest in a mentor, how to invest in your mind, and how to invest your money. Let me know, where are you guys from? Those that are watching, where are you from? Where are you guys from? What country are you from? I saw India. I saw America. Where are you guys from? Where are you guys from? China. Where are you guys from? I'm from America, and in America right now, the economy is, let me explain the little that I know, right? There is a time where the economy gets pretty lenient, pretty loose, pretty, they're not as strict. And then there's a time where they become very tight, meaning that they're becoming very restrictive. When the economy is loose, that means that they're pumping money into the economy for people to begin spending, for people to begin, enjoying the economy. Interest rates become lower. and it's just a little bit easier to spend. But when they want to tighten up on the economy, right, because inflation is now really high or whatever the case may be, they start to tighten up on the economy. So now interest rates begin to increase, and now the spending needs to like calm down. That's the goal. And so when you start seeing these things and inflation becomes really, really high, and now the economy is, you know, a little bit tough, right? You'll realize that eventually there's going to be a crash in the economy. And I'm not here to talk about, you know, the stock market or economy or money or any of that. Like I said, it's the little that I know. But what I do know, whether the market is bear or bull, whether the market is up or down, it's always good to have a good investment plan. One thing you do want to do if you do invest in the stock market is you want to invest in index funds, not just one specific stock or one specific company, but you want to make sure that you're investing, you know, diversify your investments, but you want to make sure that you're investing in an index fund. So that might look like the S&P 500. It's like a big index that traces all of these consistently thriving companies, and they've done pretty good. And over the course of, you know, years, over the course of the year, they give a good return if you continually invest in them. So in this month of December, starting next week, for free, I'm going to be giving you the reasons why you should invest your money and how you should invest your money with the little information that I do know. Even though I cater to women, and even though my academy is specifically for women, the core of who I am, I like to target women and youth as far as education and empowerment goes, because I believe that I can relate to women and I have a lot to offer to women, but I also can relate to youth. And I believe that youth, you know, is the future of tomorrow. Literally, they are the future. And so if you empower them in what you teach them is what you will begin to see in tomorrow. So I'm going to be teaching about how to invest your money, but also the importance of investing in a mentor. I believe that investing in a mentor is super, super, super important, because success leaves clues. And what you would try to do on your own for the next 10 years, having a mentor can literally collapse your 10 years into 5 years, can collapse your 5 years into 2 years, and collapse your 2 years into 1 year or 6 months or weeks. This is the power of having a mentor. So we're going to be talking about having a mentor, you know, and why it's very important again. And then we're also going to be talking about investing in your mind, why reading books and educating yourself and taking courses, not just going to traditional colleges or schools, right? But investing in coaching programs or investing in specifically niched curriculums for stuff that you want to do. Why this is so, so, so important, and how this can really, really advance your life by far. You know, I am a Christian, and while I do talk to the Christian community, I also believe in empowering, you know, the human race on a whole. And so I want to invite you guys to do this, and you can do this by joining at www.oilmillacademy.com, and it will be the first course that you see. If you click the little lines, you'll see the course that says Ruth Arise course. That's the course that I'm talking about. And so I really challenge you for the month of December to get your life together. Okay, we're gonna do it together, and I want you to join me on this course. All right, so love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, I also want to add that I'm gonna also include I'm also gonna be including my 7 ways of gaining passive income video that I made last year. So I don't know, I might tweak it, but if not, I'm gonna definitely have that video included, because passive income is literally what it sounds like. It's passive. You can make it in your sleep. So I'm gonna be talking about that. And if you stick around, I'm going to include a surprise that you definitely don't want to miss out on. I'm going to have a guest come, and she's going to be really dropping some gems. I'm talking about someone that spoke recently at Berkeley's College, and she knows her stuff. So make sure you sign up. All right? So love you guys, and I'll see you later.